Welcome back. This is week 6 of our Troubles in Otari playthrough. Last time, y'all found out that the tunnels down underneath Otari went even deeper than you previously thought. You started out by trying to, well, I guess not trying to. You fought against some kobolds that were trying to set up traps in your way, trying to stop you from going deeper. They were guarding some kind of very narrow spiral staircase heading downwards. But unfortunately for them, you all discovered an even older trap not set by the kobolds that they were not aware of, and triggered it, pretty much like immediately killing 2/3 of their fighting force as they stumbled onto the wrong spot on the floor. Some spears shot out of the wall and just completely annihilated those poor kobolds. The one remaining kobold put up a good fight, but it really couldn't get away. Even when it tried to run, Ogden, I was trying to remember Liam's character's name. There we go. Ogden managed to cut it down very swiftly as it tried to escape down the staircase. And after you all stopped to patch yourselves up very briefly, since nobody was too badly hurt after that quick fight, you headed downstairs, encountering yet even more kobolds to no one's surprise. But once again, you swiftly dispatched them, though these ones appeared to be aware of your approach, and they were waiting in ambush for you coming down the stairs. But it did not matter. You were all far too strong, and they, even with their attempt at surprising you, weren't even successful in surprising you. You discovered a barricade of barrels that smelled really odd, like rotten fish and sweat and all sorts of other nasty smells. You could hear running water behind it, but you've not explored that way yet. The real highlight of last session, I think, was the mermaid fountain you all encountered down underneath Otari. A strange-looking fountain, especially for where it was underground, just in this cavern and in these weird ancient, like ruin-like buildings down here. It was just a fountain. It was constantly, spraying some water around. There were some coins in it. It looks like people threw coins into the fountain as like a lucky wish type deal. But unfortunately, poor Nocti jumped onto the edge of the fountain, triggering the trap. This appears to be proximity-based. Ogden did try to shout out that it was trapped before Nocti jumped up, but unfortunately, poor Nocti did not care. The mermaid statue came to life, spinning around and flailing about, charging up bursts of high-pressure water to slam into all of you at all different angles. And it hurt a few of you quite a bit, but again, thanks to the quick thinking and quick fingers of several of your party members, you managed to disable the device and stop that threat entirely. And after some quick medical attention, most of you were at least on your feet. And so you decided, after that rough bit of nearly being drowned / pummeled to death, you would just head back up to the surface, gathering whatever loot you could along your way, slowing yourselves down, and call it for that day. We ended last session with you all selling off some of the very, very basics you had in your possession. Some like crude spears and leather armors and things of that nature. But you have some more interesting loot as well with you. And so the day isn't quite done yet. Or I forget, did you all actually go to bed and you're starting the next day with selling things, or did you want to sell that stuff before bed?
I thought it was very late evening, so nothing would be open at this point.
I thought we sold stuff and then got ready to go to bed and then did that.
Yeah, okay, that makes
we
sense.
needed to get stuff appraised.
So you sold the really easy stuff and then everyone went to bed. So if you've already rested, excellent. If not, do keep in mind that resting doesn't always heal you to full like it does in some other systems we've played. But I think we did medical attention before bed anyways, so most of you should be fine, probably. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I rested before.
All right, let's get over to the map. So, you all awake, and I think Nocti went to Ashe's apartment if I'm remembering that correctly.
Mhm.
Whereas Ayla still went to her own dormitory. And I think we'll just say, for convenience sake, that Oswin is, I don't know, hungover or something, and won't be going out with you in the morning to to
He
help
was
with the.
drinking in the dungeon?
Probably right when he
Damn.
got home, just needed a good drink after all that weird shit with the fountain and stuff. You know, I mean, if you're living in an apartment above a tavern, might as well.
That fountain was indeed very spooky.
It was very spooky. So that's why Oswin won't be joining you today, and Coda is staying behind to comfort poor Oswin. So, the morning is yours. What y'all gonna do?
Wake up first.
True.
And delight in the not stoked.
Roll to wake up, please. No.
Okay.
Is that a perception check?
It's a
I rolled a
perception
9 to
check.
wake up.
It's a fortitude save, definitely. No.
I can make one of those too. Here. I rolled
Ooh,
a
you
28 to wake
definitely
up.
You're making it back. So perhaps it would help to start if we take stock of all of the weird odds and ends you want to sell that are not so easily sold to like the garrison. Because I think there are several things.
I know I have a shell necklace and an unusual snare.
I have nothing.
Or 3 unusual snares.
I have
I
nothing
think
either.
I think the garrison would have bought the snares if you were willing to sell those.
I wanted to check them out.
Okay, that's fair.
Maybe, let's say I sold one of my snare kits. Well, no, I have 2 of those. I'll hold on to them for now.
All right. Remind me where the unusual snares came from.
I think I
The
looted it off of one of the dead kobolds.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it was the cobalt in the staircase. It had unusual snares in the shell necklace, which
Right. Okay, I remember the shell necklace. Oh, okay. And the unusual snares, they are not identified yet, I guess. That's why.
Yeah,
Yeah, the nature
so
of the
I
snares
would
unclear.
probably take it to, let's
So,
say Blades for Blades and see if they know what it is.
okay. I actually think this was a mistake on my part, in that it makes sense for them to be mystified at first, but they deployed one of them in combat, so you've at least seen it in action. So it probably doesn't need to be mystified anymore. You could probably still take it to someone and get like more details and stuff, but it's just a spike trap. It's a series of hidden spikes you can set up pretty quickly in order to like strike out and impale somebody with the wooden spikes. That's the basics of it there. They are worth a few gold, so you could sell them for a decent amount of money, but yeah.
I think I'll sell 2 of them for 3 gold.
Okay.
If you can put that in the party inventory.
Can do. 3 gold.
And then I'm gonna sell my snare kit, because that's mostly for like trapping animals, right?
Yeah, I think so. Snare kit. A snare kit allows you to craft snares using the crafting skill.
Okay, that might be worth keeping around then.
Yeah, fair enough. I do think that may be a crafting feat you need as well. Like there's a snare crafting. Yes. Okay, snare crafting is one of the it's one of the feat taxes for crafting as well. So if you're planning on taking snare crafting in the future, in order to craft snares as one of your skill feats, you could hold on to it. But if you don't
Nah,
feel like
I'll
spending an
sell it.
entire, yeah, that's fair. Because yeah, that's mostly the way crafting is handled in this game. Is you can craft a lot of really basic stuff for free, but if you want to get into anything special like crafting potions or equipment or whatever, you need to start to like take feats to specialize in those things. So I'll add two gold, 5 silver for that.
All right.
All right. Excellent. So that all was probably handled last night, more realistically, because the continuity error. But yes, that was my bad with the VTT.
All right. So now we go take a look at go find someone to take a look at our shell necklace.
Yeah, so it was a shell necklace. I think somebody had a gem, right? Or did you already sell that?
I see
Um,
there's an emerald in the stash.
But we put that in the stash. Is that where it ended up?
yeah.
I see. So we're just holding on to that for now, or?
I mean, presumably we want to sell it. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that it was marked as party inventory, especially
Yeah,
since it doesn't weigh anything.
that makes sense. So I guess that just leaves the shell then, yeah? Everyone check their inventories for things.
So.
All right. I will say as well, another continuity error, woo, is that, well, this is more of a continuity update, is that, Ogden, you had put your sword in at Blades for Glades for an upgrade previously. And I had said previously that would take 4 days, which was correct at the time, but they've actually buffed the crafting rules with the remaster rule set, and a
Ooh.
trained crafter who has the formula for something, which I think he would have the formula for this, would only take 1 day. So I think you could potentially go pick up your blade today as well. He would probably have that done for you.
Ooh.
Sword.
So where to first?
I think probably somewhere to sell the emerald and get the shell necklace looked at.
Okay. Let's see, for figuring out where to sell either of those things, give me a, whoever wants to, and give me a society check just to see like your knowledge of the local town and like who might be willing to
Blind
buy these
roll?
kinds of things. Sure. I guess this would be a recall knowledge check, so yeah. All right. So, Eshe, I think you'd be fairly familiar with one of the places in town here. You think that the emerald, you'd probably be most likely to be able to sell at the market, just because that's where a lot of random valuable things are bought and sold. And there might be a stall set up there that's somebody that's selling jewelry, or somebody might be there trading in gems. It's just wherever traders are traveling through the city, that's where they will set up temporarily. So you're likely to find somebody there. As far as the shell goes, you think you could either ask around there at the market, or potentially more likely, I think you would have gone to Rin's Wonders before, which is up at the very north of the town. Rin's Wonders is a bit of an eccentric magic shop, because Rin is very eccentric. And it's not a marked shop with like a sign that lists where it is or anything, but everybody calls it Rin's Wonders. And she does sell a bunch of weird odds and ends and things, mostly magical or at least just pretty things. Yeah, perhaps you've gone there. Rin also offers fortune telling services and stuff. She's an interesting character. So you think it's pretty likely she would try to take something like that off your hands, or be willing to take something like that off your hands is a better phrase.
All right, I guess to the market first. Sell that gem.
Right.
That sounds like a good plan, I think.
So, you get to the market. I'm gonna say, just to keep it simple, you do end up finding a merchant who is dealing in jewelry at the market, and they're wealthy enough that they have a security detail at their stall as well. Several different guards. It appears that they have hired some of the local guard dealing with the garrison in order to make sure that their expensive wares are you know not coming under any unfortunate attention, especially with the proximity to the Crook's Nook right there. But so well guarded, several guards there. And I'm going to say it is a human man, a bit older in age, pretty much bald, but still a little bit of hair around the side and back, like very very gray hair. And he's got glasses on that have the multiple telescoping lenses that can like pop over one of the eyes, and he can zoom them in and out and stuff. As he's like constantly constantly shifting the items in his booth around a little bit, like, oh, that ring is not quite well aligned, they're going to shift it like 1 centimeter to the right, just touching everything and like constantly making sure everything's perfect. So he doesn't even notice you while you approach.
Yeah, I would go up to him and I would say, "Excuse me, sir."
Oh, yes, what can I do for you? Welcome.
Thank you. We are a group of adventurers that were tasked with helping out at underneath the fishery, and we found something there that we think might interest you, and we'd like to see if you're willing to buy it.
I see, yes. Well, pardon my manners. Welcome to Samuel Darrell's All Things That Glitter. As he points to the sign over the stall. So we have a wide selection of things here, but it sounds like you'd rather do your business first. So, something precious, you said, something sparkly, some sort of gemstone?
Yes.
May I inspect the goods?
Yes, of course. I'll take out the emerald.
All right. So his eyes go pretty wide when you hold it out, just because of the sheer size of this thing. It's not like a crazy large emerald, but it's large enough to draw attention, and it's like well cut. It's very clear. It appears to be a fairly high quality gem. So he'll take it in his hand and kind of marvel at it a little bit. Wow, yes, I could make something quite beautiful out of this. Well, let's say 10 gold pieces for it. Seems like a fair price.
Yes, it does.
Excellent. And he'll take the emerald and like pull out a small silk pouch, drop the emerald into it, and tie it closed, and then put it down underneath his booth, and pull out another pouch that's much larger and set it on the table, and you hear the clink of coins within. Opens up the rope on the outside a little bit, reaches in, and starts counting out 100 gold pieces. Or 10 gold pieces, I'm sorry. I don't know why I added a 0, but I did. 10 gold pieces. He starts counting out. 1, 2, okay. Yes. There you are. Did you want to look over any of my wares while you're here?
Gems are a little above my means at the moment. Perhaps later.
What does he have? I would love to see.
So all manners of like rings and necklaces, earrings, just jewelry in general. It seems like his entire business revolves around, creating and selling jewelry, sometimes purchasing jewelry from others in order to resell. But so you think he will end up turning this emerald you've given him into some nice piece of art and then reselling it for a much larger price. But so if you're in the market for some expensive jewelry, Ayla. Yeah, so yes, we've got rings over here. I can get any of these resized as needed, of course. And then over there is the necklaces. We have some fancier necklaces I keep in a lockbox just in case, but much more on the expensive side.
I see.
Or raw materials. I have several different gemstones, as you just provided me one. Uh, if that is more what you're looking for.
Uh, I think I'm all set. Thank you, though.
Very well. Good doing business with you. I will be sure to turn this into something that truly sparkles. He points up to the sign again.
Would he be somebody I would buy artisans' tools from?
He might have a spare set or something. As far
Okay.
as like making jewelry and stuff, but probably more likely you could get something from the local smith, like Blades for Glades, or have it ordered at the Galantine deliveries. It's possible you might be able to just find that around the market, though. There's all sorts of different stalls.
Yeah, I'm
and things
looking at
here.
it in the market thing.
Yeah. So you'd probably be able to find some other stall. I don't know if this guy would in particular, but yeah.
Yeah, and what are artisan tools used for?
Um,
Create items from raw materials with the craft skill.
yeah.
Yeah, like what kind of items?
I think.
Oh, it looks like I probably have to specify when I buy it, and then
Yes. Exactly. That's what I'm reading as well. So, it's a generic item, and you'd probably just rename it after buying it, but they all have the same stats, so they just give it one item. But it looks fairly flexible, right? Like, there is no defined list in the game. It just is, it's determined by GM. So blacksmith tools are needed for blacksmithing work. You know, you might need woodworkers tools to do, carving and stuff. But yeah. Do you have something in mind though?
no, I just thought it would be useful to have.
Fair enough.
I'll wait until later, I think.
Yeah, I think there are. Some specific tools. I'm trying to find alchemist kit, right? Like that differs from a artisan's tool. I
Yeah.
guess the specific overrides the general there. Anything that has a more specific version, we should use that, but it's kind of a catch-all for anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did we finish the transaction with the emerald then?
Yes, I added that to the stash.
Okay. The emerald's still in the stash, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I will delete that. Thank you. Boop.
Are you sure you didn't want to buy it for 100?
All right. Well, in that case, I think we head over to Rin's Wonders.
Out of curiosity, would you try to see if anyone at the market would take a look at the shelf first, or would you just head straight over? Just assume Rin will give you a better deal.
I would probably head straight over to Rin just because if
Alright.
it is something more on the rare side, her shop's more out of the way.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So, after your dealings at the market, which is not too far from your apartment, thankfully, and it's kind of on the way, so you'd have to cross the bridge and head north anyways. You head up to Rin's Wonders, passing by several other of the buildings here in town. You pass by, the Farmers Guild, and the Odd Stories catches your eye for any of you who haven't been there before. Although I think several of you must have. I think it is a very, very likely thing that Ashay and Ayala have been to Odd Stories before, but Ogden, you may have as well. It is a bit of a odd building because it's shaped like a wizard's tower, and in fact does house a wizard. But this wizard is primarily a seller of fiction books, and his husband sells textbooks. So there's no there. You might be able to find some occasional magic things here, just because a wizard lives here and has spare wizardly stuff, and occasionally we'll come across things he wants to sell. But it's not primarily a magic shop, despite being a wizard's tower. But you can find all sorts of books here, both fictional and non-fictional. But you passed that by. Ogden, do you think you would have gone to a place like that, or is that not a priority for your few and quick trips to Otari usually?
I would probably have walked past it,
Yeah, fair.
coming down that way to get to Blades for Glades, but I don't think I would have gone in. No.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Oh,
Alright.
and since Galantine's deliveries is there, I'd check and see if my alchemist tools have come in yet.
Right.
Thinking.
So I think you ordered the cheap delivery, the standard delivery rather. Is a weekly delivery, so I think that will still be a few days, unfortunately.
Okay, fair enough.
Games like that.
Yeah.
All right, and then over across the street to Rin's.
Right. So Rin's Wonders is a bit of a strange place. It's tucked in between several other buildings, some normal houses here in town. It's a set of standing stones arranged in a circle. Actually, everybody give me a perception check real quick, or just tell me your perception DC, even better. So 10 plus your perception bonus.
16.
16.
14.
14.
14. So Ogden, I think this may be another place you haven't necessarily been before. Maybe passed by, right? Because it's on the way to Blaze for Glades. But now being here for the first time and seeing these standing stones, you with your not only are you extremely familiar with nature, basically living in it, you also have the highest perception here. You notice that these standing stone rocks are actually fake rocks that are just extremely well and cleverly painted, perhaps even slightly magically disguised in order to look like rocks. But upon a closer inspection, you can tell that they're mostly like painted wood and carved and then painted in that order, with some other materials here and there to patch up certain parts. But yeah, they all look like granite. And then inside that ring of standing stones are a bunch of small, like fabric dome tents. Not too large, each of them, perhaps a few feet across. And then in the middle of all of that is a much larger dome tent that is more the size of like a house. It's a very, very large tent. And this is the actual residence of Rin. This is her house. And then those of you who've been here before would know that the small tents around the outside are where all of her items are kept. And anything that is in one of those is for sale. And you can ask her about it and get a price and go in and do dealings with her. But she actually lives within the building in the middle. It's not technically part of the store. You'll still need to get her attention, though, to get anything done.
I'll probably, upon passing the stones, say, "Good morning, Ren."
You hear not quite like a clatter, like things are dropped, but you hear some piece of glass get put together. It sounds like she like rather hastily put down a teacup onto a platter. Oh yes, good morning. I'll be right out. 1 second. Here's some more things shuffling around inside.
That's a much better strategy than what I usually do. You know how hard it is to knock on a tent?
Yeah, and Rin's got her things. I don't want to startle her too much because that might be problematic.
Well, that's why I knock, but fabric doesn't make a lot of noise. Like, it could just be the breeze. It could be someone knocking. You never know.
At the side of the tent parts as Rin kind of shoves it to the side and pokes her head out. And I can actually show you art of her. There we go.
Ooh.
She pokes out of the tent, and she doesn't have a big scroll like that in her hands as she does, but yeah, same outfit. Pushes it aside and kind of sticks her head out. Says, yes, good morning, come on in. Here. And she pulls the tent even wider so that you can all enter together. I've just brewed a fresh pot of tea, if any of you are interested.
Yeah, probably losing this is frustrating.
I would love some tea.
Yes, well, come
Me
on
as
in.
well.
Oh, and, I apologize. I don't think we have met. And she holds her hand out to Ogden, like to shake your hand.
I will reach out and shake her hand and say, yeah, I haven't come to the city very often, so haven't visited much other than Blades for Glades, but
His name's
course.
Ogden, by the way.
Well, Ridna Savinsky. Welcome to my shop and residence. Sit. She'll gesture to one of several different very comfy, very poofy chairs she's got around the place. It's basically just like all armchairs inside this tent.
He's
We'll say
unfathomably
5.
based.
Yeah, 5 armchairs inside here. She's got a bed. You can see that the inside of the tent is painted like the night sky. Like all of the fabric inside is painted that way. Yeah, there's little odds and ends hanging everywhere. Like everything is decorated with something, and it's just kind of this strange chaos that is like right on the edge of feeling cluttered, but it is like right on the edge of feeling quaint as well. It's like this very close to being too much, but it's not quite. And she brings over a platter of more teacups and starts pouring tea for each of you. So, what brings you here today?
Well, we've been tasked with taking care of the problem at the fishery. And while we were down there, we found an interesting necklace on a kobold.
A kobold. Interesting.
Mhm.
Can I take a look?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Here you go.
Oh, this is a strange thing indeed. Never seen material quite like this. It's oddly familiar, but the chain is nice, copper. Kind of turns the bit of shell over in her hand and looks it over. This green veins. Very strange. So this is organic material. It looks like, yes. No stone has veins.
Yeah, as far as I know, it's some kind of shell.
Yes. She's going to attempt to identify it, and I just need to look up some numbers for the roll, because that's how this goes. Oh yeah, she kills it. She actually gets a critical success.
but
So-
we don't want to kill. We wanted it praised.
True. She smushes it in her hand. Ah! No. Hold on a moment. And she rushes over to one side of the room and lifts up a cushion on what looked to be like a footrest next to one of her armchairs. And it's just full of books. She just starts pulling out books one by one and then finds the one she's looking for, puts the cushion back on the footrest and sets the book down on that footrest and kind of kneels by and just starts flipping through pages while comparing the shell and the necklace to everything. I think I found it. Hold on. We just flips a few more pages back and forth. Yes. This is the shell of a green dragon. A small portion of it.
Wait, dragons
Wow.
have shells?
Well,
That's all
dragons come
dragons.
from eggs, right?
Indeed. That's what it says here in this book, at least. I don't have much experience with dragons. Um, But yes, green dragons, and that's why the veins are oddly green. It says here that green dragons, they have a poisonous breath, unlike the usual dragons you might have heard of and the many tales you may have heard. No fire, no ice, just poison. Kind of nasty, but that's what they do.
Do you think this necklace has any magical properties?
Um, it may have some alchemical properties. I doubt it's enchanted anyway. She'll look down at it and let me double check that she can actually do this. Yeah, so she'll look down at it. She'll say, "No, it does not appear." You see her eyes look flash with light for just a brief second. It does not appear to be magical. No. But hey, if it may have some alchemical properties, this may be able to be ground to a powder or boiled or something to extract some essence from it. That may be valuable in that nature. It's also quite an odd little trinket. I've never had a fragment of a dragon shell come through my store before. So, whether you want to sell it to me for display in this store, I might just keep this one for myself, honestly. Or go to one of the alchemists in town. I'm sure the Crow would love to talk to you about that. They've probably never seen a shell like this either, come across their work.
How much would you say it's worth then?
Well, I would say likely a few gold pieces. I'm struggling to remember how much it was actually worth on the sheet, but I think it was like 2.5 gold, right?
It says price 2 gold pieces.
Okay. So I think that's one of the ones that the book says it sells for 2 gold pieces, so it probably should be listed as 4 gold pieces. So I'd be willing to give you a couple of gold pieces for it. How's 2 sound? Yes?
Yes. And I'll let you show Crow if you want.
Good idea. It would be a great conversation starter. Magaloy has been a good friend for a long time. Excellent company, even though she doesn't really talk that much. She's a great listener.
Of course. All right. Well, here you go.
Thank you. And if you find any more, well, I would take them from you as well. I might just hang these around the place, at least first to get a vibe for them. Perhaps I'll sell more of them if you come across more. I'd like to keep at least one.
Of course. And while I'm here, do you have any healing potions around?
I do indeed, yes. The little dome tent, she kind of looks up into her skull a little bit and then turns, like she's trying to remember something, turns and then points in one direction out of her tent. The dome over there, that has some of the potions in it. If you go and grab whatever you need from there, bring it back to me here. I can get those priced up for you.
All right. I'm deleting the shell necklace.
All right, I've added the gold to the party sheet.
I am going to grab a lesser potion of healing.
All right, so that's 12 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm. And then also a minor potion of healing. I think that would put it at, what, 16?
Yes, if you're getting a lesser and a minor, that'd be 16 gold pieces.
All right, so that's most of what I have right now, but I'm gonna buy those.
All right. She does also have a wand of heal. If anyone wanted to like um, group up some funds from the whole party together or something, because I mean that's essentially like a and it recharges is the nice thing there. I don't think it has a ton of charges on it, but you know, like basically a free healing potion per day is what that would be. But it is very expensive, so understandable if not today. Yeah, I think
I've
it's
been looking at that
one.
for a while.
Yeah, it is one free casting of heal per day essentially. But I'm not sure how overcharge works. I don't know if that means it accumulates charges when you don't use it.
I also have the spell heal.
Oh, okay. No, overcharging it. Yes, yeah, you have the spell heal, but also, I mean, this would just be extra spell slots essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So overcharging it is you can attempt to force a wand to work again, even if it's out of charges, but it has a chance of destroying it. So that's like an emergency thing. So essentially, it would be one free spell slot of heal per day. So depending on the amount of funds the party has right now, it may or may not be worth it. Yeah. Anyways,
Is that something we want?
I am curious if anybody can use a wand. I'm not actually sure.
I could use a wand. But no, it's a divine primal spellcasting thing.
Yeah, I think that marks the source of the magic, right? It's both divine and primal.
Yeah.
Those are just like tags, but I don't think you need.
I thought you needed those to
Okay.
be able to, but
Yeah. Okay, so yes, you could with the trick magic item feat, otherwise you need to be a spellcaster just in general.
yes.
So if I'm trained in divine magic, would I be able to work it?
I believe so. That's my interpretation, at least.
I could also work it, but it would be scuffed.
Is that something we want to save up for, or pull together and buy now?
Yeah, that's funny.
I don't have enough to afford that. I have 4 gold.
Okay.
So yes, looking at the actual rules for spells, which I did for wands, which I did actually find finally. To cast a spell from a wand, it specifically must be on your spell list. You know, with tricks like trick magic item that can be worked around, but yeah. So it
I don't have
essentially
any spells on my spell list.
Exactly. So it essentially functions as an extra spell slots for specific spells. It like uses your own spell modifiers and everything of the caster casting from it. So it's a spell
Okay.
battery. All right.
I think I'll stick with the 2 potions for now.
Very fair, very fair. And you might come across more loot later, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I did have a question about these talismans.
Yes.
There are a couple of them that I'm eyeing and interested in buying.
The talismans.
But I could only afford one of them, so.
Yes, the talismans at Rin's Wonders, or were they in a different shop?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm struggling to find that in the list here. Where are they?
Under consumables?
Yes, like what's the name of one specifically? Is it like Talisman of or something Talisman or
Oh, Owlbear Claw.
Owlbear Claw? Okay.
Ah,
Owlbear Claw, I see. Yes, and that is a talisman. Uh so I think yeah, those are consumables, but they essentially you attach them to an item, like you would like wrap it with a chain around the hilt of your sword or something like that, right? And then you could use it once and it would break the talisman afterwards to get the specific effect. Which can be really good. The critical specialization is nice. I will say I think you get that soon. But having it early would be nice.
Well, I didn't know if this was the same thing as like that rune that was being imbued on my weapon, so it's different than that.
Yeah, so you're getting a potency rune, right? I believe. I'm gonna double check the inventory because I gave it to the smith. The smith should have it. Oh, I put it on its NPC sheet, not his store. Here we go. So it is a plus
selling
one
his
potency.
weapon.
Exactly. It's got a plus one potency rune on it, which means it's got like a plus one accuracy to hit, essentially. So that's really great because that's also a plus one chance to crit, right? So you just always great to have. But the talisman is something separate in that it's like having a spell scroll or a something like that attached to your weapon, right? It just casts a specific thing once you use it. But then the talisman's gone. But critical specialization is nice because when you crit, it makes your weapon do other things. So you could essentially use this.
My rapier would disarm.
Your rapier would be fine, but it would no longer have the claw on it.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
the rapier
it
does
would use
disarm. I
the
see.
disarm action.
Yes, essentially. Because that's the specialization. Yes.
Yeah, if it's one use, it is not as enticing to me.
Yeah, that's fair. The other she does have some other runes that are like permanent, but those are much more expensive, right? The
equipment.
yeah, like a striking rune can go with your potency rune so that it does an extra damage die every time you hit, so that's very valuable, right? Like how much does your rapier do? 1d8?
I believe
Oh yeah,
so.
you
Yeah,
don't have it.
deadly
Right.
D8.
It is so deadly D8 is how much damage it does on a crit. Anyways, it does damage. It would make it do an extra die of damage whenever it's hit, which is just great. And then the other ones are called property runes, and you can have one property rune per level of potency rune. So you have a level 1 potency rune right now, which means you could get one property rune and a striking rune. So if you wanted to add ghost touch to it, for example, then you could hit ghosts with it. That would be one property rune, and so on and so forth. But those are all very, very expensive.
Yeah. All right, that is good to know because
Absolutely.
figuring out what I'm going to be saving up for.
The Blades for Glades has some runes as well, but they're mostly basic, like potency runes, striking runes. They do have an armor potency though, which is nice. That's pretty valuable. And yes, yeah, saving up good.
So can you stack weapon potencies?
No, you'd have to get a higher level. So you could, I think you can upgrade, but that's like a complicated thing. You would essentially, I think the upgrading process is like, you subtract the price of the first rune while etching the second rune. So if you wanted to upgrade from a weapon potency +1, for example, which costs
it's 900 gold.
exactly 900 gold. Yeah, because you subtract the 35 gold off the end. So yeah, you don't like fuse them together or anything. You just have to pretty much buy the higher level version, but you can kind of trade in the cost a little bit.
F.
Yeah, no, it can be pricey. But hey, that +1, I mean, I'm trying to remember the exact rules for like when you're supposed to get these bonuses and stuff, but you're getting it early. I know for sure you're getting it early. And I don't think you would normally get a +1 rune by like normal, or a +2 rune rather. I think you'd normally get a potency level 2 rune by like level 10, right? Whereas you might get like an attack potency rune by like level 2 or 3. So you start out with them pretty early. But it's a while before you start upgrading things to the +2 range.
That's
And then of course +3s are like max level, like levels 16 and up, that kind of thing. So that's why that's really expensive, because you know by that point you're going to be earning a shit ton of gold probably.
that checks out.
Yeah. Anything else here at Ren's Wonders?
I spent my gold.
Yeah. Ayla would probably just be admiring the collection of wands for future.
Speaking of spent
Binding.
gold, do we want to split up the party gold now that everything's sold?
I would be down.
Not hearing any no's, so let's do that.
Sure, let's do that.
I'll distribute coins to everyone, which leaves a few coins in the stash, just because it couldn't be evenly divided. But now everybody's got a little more gold if they want to spend it on stuff.
I always forget which button is my inventory. I still can't afford a wand though, so I will continue admiring the wands while other people look at things.
What? Just out of pure curiosity, what wands were catching your eye?
Oh, so they're just cool, you know.
I mean, most of them are just a wand of spell, right? But this
yeah.
spell's okay. And I guess
Um,
it's true that your character kind of you've given yourself the option paralysis problem of I can technically use any wand.
yeah. Probably the ones that are catching Ayla's eye the most are Heal, Magic Missile, and Burning Hands.
Ah, yes, good stuff indeed. Magic Missile's a classic, as are the others, but all right. So you say goodbye to Rin as she goes back to
Yeah.
drinking her tea, and yes,
She also does fortune telling, doesn't she?
yes.
I would love to have my fortune told. I mean, she
Oh,
gave us tea.
If you come back tonight, I will absolutely. My fortune telling requires the stars, and not these stars, unfortunately. I need the real ones.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
But this I can definitely do for you. I must say that, well, based on the supernatural forces at play, the alignment of the stars, and several other factors, how far into the future I can see for you will vary quite a lot. I can't make any promises if I can even see tomorrow, but when things are very important, I tend to see longer.
Hey, I'll be back tonight.
I'll make sure to have some more tea ready. Aww. And some catnip for the little one.
Oh, she would appreciate that a lot, I'm sure.
She just kind of smiles and nods. So you'll head out of Rin's Wonders, and she returns to grab another book and begin reading once again. Uh, you all head out. Was the next stop Blades for Glades, or were you heading somewhere else?
I would probably go to Blades for Glades to check in on my sword.
I mean, it's right across the street.
I'm done with my shopping, so yeah.
I'm still saving up, so I could do whatever.
All right, so you head into Blades for Glades, and you once again find, it's filled with all of Carmen Rajani's apprentices who are currently working on various tasks, keeping the business running. Doing all of the work to make the little pieces of equipment that are not so quality critical. Things like whether it's nails or horseshoes or random knives and things. Whereas Carmen Rajani and some of his more senior apprentices will work on the more like masterful things, like the current crafting job you've given him, or making like specialized equipment or really fancy things to sell. And see, Carmen Rajani is actually looking at a very large like ledger on a ledger on a ledger main. What do you know? At the back of the store, and like scribbling some things with a quill. And hears you walk in and closes the book, turns around and says, "Ah, welcome. Hold on right there. I'll go get your sword for you. That's what you're here for, yes?"
Yeah, I was gonna come in and check on that.
Of course. I think I have really outdone myself on this one. You'll see. I'll head back into the back of the shop and come out holding the blade, and like as he's holding it in one hand, and then also he's got like a rag in the other hand he's using to just quickly polish the blade as he brings it over and holds it out to you. So you see, it's actually kind of tricky to get these runes on the blade, on such a thin blade, right? So normally we'd put it on like the guard instead, but I managed to do it. I managed to get real intricate. I used a magnifying glass, got right in there, and you can see that like right at the base of the blade, very down low, very, very small, is this tiny little etching of a rune. And it just kind of faintly, occasionally pulses with magic. I really gotta say, I hope you enjoy this. I'm sad to see it leave my shop, because it was nice just even having it in the back and going back there and seeing it. Well, hey, hopefully it inspires you to come back for more business. Yeah, you're a return customer already, but I can tell you're moving up in the world.
All right, thank you so much. It looks wonderful, and I can tell just by the short sword this is gonna be all the difference.
Oh yes, there. He'll back up. Try the balance.
I
I'm
will.
gonna take a step back just for safety.
I will try it out a little bit.
All right, it definitely feels easier to use. There's just something about it, like there's something almost assisting your swings whenever you make them. Like there's almost less air resistance or something, and it just feels very, very well balanced. It's perfect.
Excellent, thank you. It feels amazing, and I cannot wait to give it a try.
Hey, glad you enjoyed it, and I hope Blades for Glades is the #1 place you come for this business from now on. Yeah? Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. And he obviously seems very proud of the job he's done here.
And I know I said I was gonna give you the short sword. Do you want this other one for it? Because you did such a fine job with it. No need to pay me or anything. Just figure I get a better sword, so you can take 2.
Well, if you're offering a tip, I won't rightly refuse, no?
And I will put my regular short sword on the table.
Well, thank you. Much appreciated. Fine doing business with you. Any of y'all have other business while you're here?
Fortunately, I'm not really one for weapons.
Understandable. Perhaps tools, set of climbing equipment.
Neither am I. I've really never been good at weapons myself.
Of course, of course. Well, if you ever need any armor, any kinds of ammo or tools, or oh, really anything made of metal or even wood, we have quite a few talented apprentices here learning how to carve wood extremely well. You just keep us in mind.
How do you know what
Of
armor
course.
you're proficient with?
It's under your proficiencies. So you're trained in pretty much everything, it looks like. There's heavy armor, medium armor, light armor, all that stuff. You're even trained in being unarmored. Look at that. Although that's obviously going to be less than light armor, but the bonus you get from your proficiency bonus is the same, so that's nice.
Because my hide armor gives a +3 AC.
Yeah, so you got a +3 AC, probably a 2 from your dexterity, I would imagine, or is that from your shield?
Yeah, it says 2 dex modifier cap.
Yes. Okay, so 3 from your proficiency bonus from being trained, because that's your level +2 for the trained modifier. 3 from the actual armor, and then 2 from your dexterity gives you 18.
I prefer no cap.
True. Well, that's light armor.
Because I don't know if I want to buy better armor.
Certainly could. They've got a bunch in stock here.
Because if I bought like chainmail or a breastplate, it has +4 AC, but it only lets me take 1 dex modifier.
So chain mail.
So, what is your dexterity bonus at the moment?
My dexterity is a +3.
So yeah, the chainmail has a 1 dexterity cap. So you would go from, you'd remove 1 from your dex cap, you'd gain 1 from the base AC, so you'd still be at 18. But since that armor is also noisy, has a speed penalty and a stealth check penalty.
Well, mine does too.
Ah, fair enough. Well, your hide armor has a speed penalty too.
Yeah, my hide armor has +3 AC, 2 dex modifier, -2 check
Yeah.
penalty, -5 speed.
Look at that. What do you know? Are you more of a dex build then, kind of, or are you kind of mixed?
I am
You are more
strength dex.
Strength and dex. Yeah, medium armor is probably the best you could get right now then, because I think lighter armor wouldn't keep up even though you added your better dex, right? So like studded leather, you can go up to 3 dex, which you have, but you'd go down to a 2 bonus, so it'd still be 18. But you'd have the same AC and you'd no longer have a movement speed penalty or anything, so that could be an improvement. Yeah.
All right, I might just change it out for that
Yeah, fair enough.
studded leather armor, so I gain a check and speed.
Yeah, it seems like a no-brainer if I'm reading it right. I mean, you'd have the same AC. You'd have only a -1 check penalty, which I think is to acrobatics and stuff specifically, if I'm remembering that right. I think that's how that works, but we can look that up later when it becomes more relevant. But it's the same AC, and yeah, cool.
All right.
You go all the way up to
If you
full
wanna-
plate. That would be +1 actually, but yeah.
Well, I can't afford full plate.
Yeah, it's expensive. And it would be even
All right.
slower.
Someday.
I guess. Is there any way I can exchange my hard armor for that studded leather armor as well. It might do me better on the battlefield.
Let's see that armor. Could you here, turn around here? And he kind of stands behind you and just starts pulling on pieces of the armor on your back and stuff, and like stretching it tight. Yeah, just take that off real quick. I want to get an inspection on that. See what I give you for it.
Do I put it to held?
Probably. This is more just narrative than anything. He's just asking you to take off the armor so you can look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do appreciate you turning it into mechanics anyways, though. I like that. So you take the interact action to take off your armor, hand it over. It's in good shape. Little rough here and there. It's definitely seen plenty of battle. But tell you what, I'll since you were so nice in giving me that extra sword you had on you, I'll make you this trade.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. So I'll add studded leather to your inventory.
I will delete hide armor.
I can do that without costing you money. There you go. And yeah, you should be all set.
Heck yeah, now I am faster.
Yeah, that shouldn't weigh you down as much. Looks good.
So wait, why did my speed not change?
Good question.
Had it not been auto-applying the -5?
Maybe it only applies in certain circumstances. I'm not entirely certain. Your speed is what, 30? 25?
25.
I think that's normal. Oh, maybe the speed penalty is for if you're not strong enough or something.
Oh, so maybe this wasn't...
Well, you still
needed.
did reduce... You dropped the noisy trait at least for free. So that's good. You'll have better stealth checks potentially.
Hide armor didn't have noisy, I don't think.
Oh, did it not?
The chainmail would have.
He doesn't even sell hide armor, Lamau, so we just got rid of it. I think I can... Yes, there we go. Hide armor. Open.
Hiding the armor?
But anyways, it was a fun little trade, and now I have...
Yeah, and it's thematic. Now you feel faster on your feet anyways.
And I'm better at being acrobatic.
Yeah. It is lighter in general. Like you can carry more stuff now because it's just lighter. So that's handy. So yeah, more acrobatic, stealthier. You can carry more shit. Pretty much a win. You didn't lose anything, and you got a few really tiny things. So good shit. All right.
I just realized I've never been wearing the armor I have.
No.
Oh no! How much did your
With
AC
my
change?
armor, I have an AC of 16.
Whoa! Nice. Is that because you have some light armor? Yeah, studded leather as well. Nice.
I have studded leather. I looted it off of something.
So did that give you a +2, basically?
Yes.
Nice. Well, that's
and
good.
then I'm not a stealthy, thievy person anyways, or really athletic, so it doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, pretty much.
And if I really need something to succeed, I can either spend a hero point or take my armor off.
Makes sense. So yeah, the check penalty does apply to any strength or dexterity checks except for attacks. So unless you meet the armor strength threshold, that's probably why it hasn't been applying. So the strength threshold. The strength threshold listed on these things?
Oh, Joanna, there's also alchemist tools at the Stone Ring Pond. I know you ordered some, but
I don't know why these things don't show their strength, but that's fine. Yeah, the Stone Ring Pond is an interesting one. They are druids.
Would that be something I would know where to? Well, I already ordered it, so I might as well just wait.
Yeah, you Amazoned it. We can retcon it if you want to,
Jesus.
because you probably would have known or could have. When you asked the delivery service, they definitely would have told you. You could have bought some there, probably.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. So I'll say I can use these now. And what was the delivery fee?
It was like, how many bulk is it?
1.
5 copper.
Okay, don't worry about it.
I mean, you might as well add the 5 copper back. It's fine.
Sure.
Real estate. And by real estate, I mean copper.
Yeah, we retconned in Liam's purchase, so we might as well.
All right, there we go.
yeah, I saw. It could even be like we were there doing the Amazon delivery, and I saw it on the little page that you were like pointing out, and I was like, hey, the people out there sell it.
Yeah. So yeah, the Stone Ring Pond. There's a circle of druids dedicated to Gazra out there, and they are mostly like nomadic through the forests out there. But at any given time, there's usually at least one druid who is like watching over the stones. Sometimes there's nobody there, but generally at least one of them is settled nearby temporarily, and will be willing to deal with you and whatever you might need. So that probably works. I think for this, just to make it simple and it's an easy retcon, it was a nameless NPC druid and not one of the named NPC druids.
All right.
But maybe if you go back sometime, you'd see a named NPC druid. Yeah, they also will offer various spells as services if needed, right? Like if you needed some sort of spell dispelled, or some food purified or something, yeah, like a few like low level druidy things that they could quickly do. That's something that you could get done there.
Okay.
Cool. So with all of your shopping done, what else do you guys want to do today? You could potentially things around town. We sort of heard rumors about the ruins previously, and those seemed interesting, but you haven't really looked at that too much yet.
Did kind of
Okay.
want to check out the ruins.
Found the strength threshold for a studded leather armor. It's 12.
There you go. So if
Hey,
you
Hey,
have
Liam, do you
12
have 12 strength?
I have a +4.
So yes, that would be 18.
Okay.
I have +2. That's 14, right?
Yep.
Cool. So
Okay,
that would
so-
I
be.
have -1.
No,
No, I have +0. I have +0.
Hey,
so you
I've got a -1 to con.
So you technically could wear armor, but if you did so, it might be tricky.
Oh, I have armor.
Also,
Well,
Emma, you get a hero point back. I don't know if we were
Heck,
going
I
to use
do.
the hero point.
the armored cloak has a strength 12 requirement. So it's a
Rip.
+1 strength. So you can still wear it, but it just means you're taking. Thankfully, it's a very light thing, despite the strength requirement. it means you take no speed penalty, but you do take a -1 on all dexterity and strength checks, which I think should be automatically applied. Maybe we could calculate that out real quick, but
It
if
has a
not,
toggle.
where did you see that?
Toggle.
So if you click on the inventory and then you click on your armor, you have to make sure it's worn parentheses armor.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then go click on your proficiencies like acrobatics.
Oh, okay.
There should be an armor check penalty. Mine's toggled
Oh,
off.
Yes. Okay, so just make sure you toggle those on,
Yes.
and that should be good. Interesting that it's untyped. I would have thought that would be an item penalty, but that's fine. Armor is one of the weird exceptions to a lot of rules, but it works. It's fine. Cool. So now we know that for the future. That's how you get that little bonus. So now we know it's automatic. And a -1 really isn't too bad. I mean, I guess it's only a +1 AC, but still. The AC is probably better than a +1 on, acrobatics checks or something. But you could always take it off if you really needed to. If you're really, really like, I need to jump across this gap. It's not worth having armor on right now.
Or I really need to make it up this cliff.
Exactly. Yeah, something like that.
Well, Osmond's the one that can't make it up and down cliffs.
Unfortunate.
I mean, I don't think
Especially
I can make it
hungover.
up cliffs either. I have +0 athletics.
Oswin's just maximum sleepy boy hungover energy right now. Cool. All right, so I'm glad we figured out the armor thing. What else are you doing around town?
Ruins? Ice?
Sure.
Sure, let's do ruins.
I can't target the ruins. Oh.
The ruins are, just a journal entry. Smagely.
Yeah, because I know we had talked to people before, but we never actually. I don't know if we did go there and investigate.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Double checking a thing here. All right, so you head over to the ruins. So most of you would have been in town, or at least heard of this happening only a few weeks ago. This used to be the Thirsty Alpaca, one of the, certainly the largest tavern in the city. It was like not only the biggest place in size, but definitely the most popular in terms of people coming here. Which I guess is what popular means. Thanks, brain. It's the most populous in terms of people being there. So it was sad to see it go, and extra sad that there were still people inside when it suddenly collapsed a few weeks ago. Fortunately, it wasn't like at peak hours and there wasn't a ton of people inside, but still it was like 5 employees and like 3 customers were inside the building when it collapsed, and they did not make it out. There were a few people that did. I guess I should say there were 2 more customers that did make it out that were there, but they, it was 7 people died in that accident, which is extra rough, especially in a small town like this. Strangely, the town's owner has gone completely missing. His body was never found amongst the ruins, and this has been the source of many strange rumors around town, especially like you uncovered several things already. This ruin is apparently haunted. There are strange lights and eerie sounds that come out at night. And most people have started keeping pretty far away from it. They'll walk all the way around the other side of the block to get to their destination, and they don't dare approach it, except for some, adventurous teens looking for some thrills at night by going to the haunted house, things like that. But nobody has actually gone inside since the accident happened and since people's bodies were recovered. And that's what you know about it just from talking around town and stuff. But now you arrive at the scene, and perhaps most of you have been avoiding it as well due to the rumors, but they're here. It almost looks like a sinkhole opened up underneath the building and everything just fell in. There's like an edge to a cliff all the way around the foundation of the building, or where it used to be, and then everything fell into the pit from there. So you see the roof is like on top of the wreckage, split in half and crumbled in on itself. The walls are all crumbled in together, and it's just a big old pile of rubble. But because it fell down mostly underground, you're looking down into a pit. The roof and the top of the roof that is broken up doesn't even reach up to ground level. The nearest drop down into the pit from the cliffside to the rubble is about a 20-foot drop. If you wanted to try and make a leap to the roof itself, it would be about a 10-foot leap, but it would be a 10-foot leap over a 20-foot drop. So you could leap there like at mostly even ground, but yeah, it would be if you missed it, 20-foot drop, like I keep repeating.
What are the rules for jumping in this game?
Good question. So there's the jump action. No, this is a spell. I'm pretty sure there is a jump action as well, though. We'll say this is a long jump. I'm pretty sure that's the specific rule I'm looking for. There we go. So 2 actions to long jump. You stride as the first action. Thank you, tongue. And then you make a horizontal leap and attempt an athletics check to increase the length of your jump. So is a leap something we can dig into? Okay, so without... Okay. So, actually, based on the rules, it says with a running start, anybody can make a 10-foot horizontal leap if their speed is at least 15 feet.
Okay, I would like to do that.
That seems really high.
Oh, is it vertical or horizontal only?
That's horizontal. It is 3-foot vertical, which can include up to 5 feet of horizontal movement for vertical. You can roll athletics to try and go farther, but like the minimum, essentially, without risk, is 10 feet. I don't think I could jump 10 feet from a running start, but I guess I'm not an adventurer. That's crazy.
I'd like to send Nocti first so I can convince myself that I can do it.
Yeah, I guess Nocti's speed is above 15 feet, right? So makes sense.
Nocti is faster than I am. Like
So Nocti,
significantly faster.
Yeah, no roll required for a 10-foot jump, apparently. So Nocti takes running start, curls up the cat spring, and then takes a running start and leaps all the way across to the roof in the middle of the thing. I think what I should be ruling here, I got caught up in the jumping rules. This is not an easy thing to land on. So perhaps we can retcon this if you don't want to send Nocti over. But with it not being easy to land on, I think it'd be acrobatics on landing to make sure you're not just slipping and plummeting and stuff, basically.
I'm still gonna send Nocti over even if I'm not going over.
That's fair, that's fair. So yeah, give me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics
to
check.
Land safely, keep your balance on the other side, because it's like a slanted roof that's like partially crumbling, and if you hit it wrong, you might change the balance underneath you. And sort of
24.
stuff. So yeah, Nocti leaps over and critically succeeds, clearing the gap, landing on the other side very gracefully, and just does a little prance and turns around proudly.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna slow clap and roll my eyes at her. I know she's showing off. Uh, can I blame her? No.
I feel like it's slightly less impressive that the cloud elemental jumped well.
Yeah, she can literally fly. I think she's made of clouds.
Excellent.
Let's see. I need to check and see if I'm decentish. Okay, I'm gonna jump.
Look.
Do I make a public skill check?
Yeah, because we'll know if you fall.
Oops.
So that is a regular failure. So you jump across the other side. You hit the ground, and your weight just hits the part of the rubble you land on just right that it kind of shifts underneath you a little bit, and you start to tip over backwards. You can take a reaction for the arrest a fall action, which is actually another acrobatics check. See if you can grab something while you fall. Or somebody else could use a different reaction if they have one, or that would apply to the situation. But that's the basic one, at least.
Yeah, I will do arrest a fall.
All right.
So just make another acrobatics check.
That's right. This is your second chance to. Oh no!
Oh.
Oopsies.
So you are going to fall down the side of the roof and slide down the rubble and just hitting different beams that are sticking out and some rubble and rocks that are in the way and stuff. Since that was a 20-foot drop, why does this not? Okay, yes. So I'm gonna say, yeah, no, that tracks. Okay, so it is for a distance of farther than 5 feet. You take bludgeoning damage equal to half the distance you fell. So that's a 10 damage fall.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah, as you tumble and crack against things and slide and scrape. And
10
it's
health,
not fun.
right?
I am sort of alive. I'm going to treat wounds on myself.
So you get yourself up and just start doing first aid, patching up the bruises and starting to clean out the scrapes you got on the way down and all of that.
Are you alright down there?
Hold on.
No. Oh no. You're not
I'm-
okay.
I'm alive, but can't say much else.
Are we rolling for panic?
Everybody take one stress, roll a panic check.
Oh fuck.
I'm pretty
Um,
scraped up at this point. I've got some pretty massive road burn type of deal.
Yeah, I mean, you hit
Ayla,
jagged brick and rocks and things. You definitely scraped up too.
Hi, yes, I heard my name.
yeah, do you have any rope? My rope is currently in the dungeon, and I can
I
use
have
it.
rope.
Can you throw a
You're
rope
the-
20 feet?
Oh, you can see.
I've got a rope, but I do kind of want to see you try and throw a rope 20 feet.
Is this an athletics check?
Yeah, I think so. You're not attaching anything heavy to one end of the rope or anything, right? You're just yeeting the coil.
Yep.
Yeah, I think athletics check. I think that's good enough. Yeah, so you managed to swing the rope around using your arm as a pivot, just fling it up there, and it kind of starts to unravel in midair. But when it gets up close to the edge, the end you're like holding on to more, it has a little more momentum to it as it gets to the top and just kind of whips over the top, giving Ogden just a split second to stomp on it to grab it so it doesn't fall back down. But yeah, Ogden can then lean down, pick up the other end of the rope, and he managed to throw it all the way up.
All right. Do we want to try to attach this to something so we can climb down there, or do we want to try to get you out to heal if we're going to investigate?
Well, I mean,
I'd still like to try and get to the roof, but yeah.
There was a. All right. We can start. Is it an athletics check to help Ashe get out?
should I, like, if I'm gonna take a peek, can I do a quick search?
Sure, if you want to stay down there for a second, just look around.
Yeah,
Give me
just like a
a,
quick perception check.
Yeah, absolutely. This would be secret.
Oh, wait.
So.
Yep.
All right, so while you're down there, you throw the rope up there, and you just take a brief minute to sit and listen to your surroundings and try to look and see if you can hear anything strange going on here. Yeah, and especially with your whisper elf thing, listening for anyone hiding from you, giving you a small bonus there and all of that. But no, you don't hear anything. It seems pretty quiet down here. And you do remember from your I'm assuming you're staying on the outside of the rubble right now, right? Just kind of listening. But
I'm basically just staying where I fell and just
Yeah.
taking stock.
So you think if you wanted to find like more details, maybe trying to sort through the rubble might help. But right now, you also recall that the rumors all said that this place appears haunted at night. That's when the spooky sounds and lights and weirdness all tend to happen. The spirits come out at night. But yeah, so for now, it tracks. The rumors seem to be, the rumors are tracking with what you are encountering right now, and that there's nothing weird going on down here during the day, at least.
Okay, yeah, I will gingerly take the rope and try and pull myself up.
All right. So I believe this is an athletics check, and there's a couple ways we could handle it, because I believe Ogden also wanted to help, right?
Yeah.
So for climbing, if you want to assist Ashe in climbing, you can make an athletics check of your own, and if you are successful, it'll give Ashe a +1 to climb. Or if you critically succeed, it would be a +2 or something bigger. But yeah.
And this is public, right?
Yes, yeah, because we would know if you failed. Yeah. Okay. I think that's good enough here because it's not like a slippery slope or anything like you were climbing down underneath. So that's a +1 for Ashe. And then that's an athletics check to see if you can.
All right,
yourself
I'm
up.
gonna spend a hero point to make sure I do this.
All right. So, Yeah, I think that'll do it. So you manage to pull yourself up the rope, Ogden pulling from the other side, getting you slowly up the edge and on top. And you're back outside the pit, scraped up, bruised up, but alive and back on solid ground.
Yep. I'm gonna sit here for a few hours, I think, and try and patch myself up.
Alrighty.
I do have a question. Did you say the roof looks stable enough for people to step on it?
Yeah, it's you saw when Ashay tried to jump across, like, it's like it's rubble and things aren't, perfectly stable. But so some of the portions of the roof are like broken off from each other and kind of leaning in weird different directions. It's not like the whole roof is there, but certain portions of it are still like kind of piled high enough you could land on them, as long as you're able to keep your balance. But it looks like it'll support your weight if you can keep your balance. It's just a matter of landing on something and not having it shift out from underneath your feet and causing you to tumble like Ashay did.
Are we able to go to the market and buy their 10-foot ladder
Probably good.
to walk across the 10 feet?
Hold on, I want to try to get across first, if that's all right.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
I just don't want you to fall as well.
No, I support this. Before we take the safe option, I would like to take the dangerous option. It's excellent. Yeah.
I'll be fine. I'm gonna take off my cloak and give it to, I don't know, I'll give it to Ogden to hold. All right. Well, might as well try, right? Oops. There we go. That was an acrobatics check?
Yeah, an acrobatics check to safely land, essentially.
Yes.
So you land on a different piece of roof than Ashay did, thinking, certainly this other piece is sturdy. And it's not. The shingles you land on slip out from underneath your feet immediately. They're like completely disintegrated in their connection with the roof. And it just serves as a banana peel for you to step on when you land. And so you hit that, you slip, and you begin to tumble. You can attempt to arrest your fall if you wish.
I will do that.
All right, another.
No, I
Nope,
won't.
you won't. So you slip. You're like, nah, I'm not gonna wait for the safe option. You jump across. I got this, guys, totally. And then immediately we just see you rolling down into the pit again, taking 10 bludgeoning damage as you fall.
As I saw you falling, I started unraveling the rope instead of giving it back to Ashay.
Nocti is just gonna peer over the edge of the roof and purr down.
Nocti is
confident in her superiority.
Yes, the superior member of the party, the only one to make the jump. But can she make it
hasn't
back?
Tried yet.
That's also true.
I'm gonna rub my damaged leg and be like, oh, I should have known better. That darn cat makes it look too easy.
I guess
Could I
it
get
also...
a rope?
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
No, that was... Oh,
Okay,
you
so
can get a rope,
Ogden...
but I'm not helping.
Yeah, Ogden does not help, but you do get a rope. It is a safe jump back for Nocti because it's a safe landing. It's only dangerous to jump across because of the roof situation. But yeah.
Well, I'm gonna attempt to climb the rope.
Go for it.
Keyword here is
No.
attempt.
You try to lift yourself and you just feel the bruises in your arms from falling down. You're like, nope.
Huh. You know, I'm starting to think that ladder was a good idea.
Yeah, but you're 20 feet down and the ladder's only 10 feet.
Huh. I didn't get that far, if I'm being honest. Um,
Can I try and help?
Sure.
That's athletics, right?
oh no.
Yeah, no, Ashay manages to give Ayla's next check a +1 as she goes over and starts to help Ogden pulling on the rope once again.
Also, you have a hero point.
True.
Yeah, I do. Oh, it is almost 10. I guess I'll use it.
Hero points can be exchanged for goods and services, or so I've heard.
Uh-huh.
Goods and services being re-rolling your d20s. Oh god. Well, good thing you re-rolled because that is a success. A critical fail probably would have meant more damage for you from falling partway down the rope.
Yeah.
But thanks to your hero point, you managed to climb your way back up slowly, but you make it to the top safely.
Oh, thank you for the help.
Should we go get the ladder now?
I need to sit here and patch myself up. If you want to go get the ladder, I'll just wait here.
Okay, I'm gonna go purchase the 10-foot ladder so that hopefully we can.
Oh, I'll come with you so it's easier to carry it, although I suspect a certain cat won't be joining us, as she's just sitting there all smug.
Well, if you throw the rope across or something, she'd be able to catch it being over there. You know, it's useful.
I mean, she is pretty strong. She might be able to help lift someone up.
All right, so we'll say you managed to head over, grab the ladder, and head back. You can just buy that at cost. We don't need to role play out your interaction with a ladder salesman. I don't need to pad out time that much. I will say it is a salesman that sells only ladders. That's an entire business, and so he's got a
That's
very
impressive.
fine ladder for you to get.
Has it been an hour?
I think as part of this process, eventually Ogden comes back, and it's almost an hour at that point, and then yeah, you can make another check. It does take a bit to get the ladder. Oh no! Uh-oh.
I'm unconscious.
Oh,
just for fun, Eshe, how do you knock yourself out? And is this while everyone's gone? I guess I said Ogden comes back and then you try to medicine. So everyone
Yeah.
arrives and you're like, oh, finally, I think I can try this again. Just like a shock of pain from, I don't know, setting something improperly, or I don't know.
I think I try and just like slap a bandage on my wound, but my hand slips and I take some like flesh off with it, and then
Oh,
immediately
no.
pass out.
Yeah, that's fair.
oh.
So yeah, you're going to bandage up the wound, and yeah, you just hit the pressure in the wrong spot and tear it open a little bit, and yep. So you two return just in time to see Eshe begin to slap on some bandages and then just pass out onto the ground and start bleeding out from the wound that they just opened up for themselves a little bit.
Oh.
Well, Ayala, do you have any healing spells, or are we gonna use a healing potion on them?
Yeah, I've got a healing spell. Hold on. Okay. I've got a trick magic item.
6 seconds have passed
I'm
as you talk to each other.
So I need to roll a check.
Yes. So you succeeded. So you reduce your dying value by 1. So I think you're just stable, if I understand that right.
Yeah.
So you stabilize. You're no
Fine,
longer
then
bleeding
we don't
out.
need to do anything.
I think that's correct. If you by succeeding on a recovery check and you're still at 0 hit points, you remain unconscious. Yeah, so you're just unconscious. But you do gain the wounded condition.
How do you wake up an unconscious person at no health?
The unconscious condition. So healing will wake somebody up who's unconscious from being 0 hit points. Otherwise,
I
the
mean-
entire other list of waking up from unconscious requires you to have 1 hit point or more. So
I mean, you could just leave me for an hour and try and treat my wounds.
I don't have medics. I don't have medical skills.
Yeah, I was gonna get natural healing at level 2, so I don't have healing yet. Okay. I managed to flip to the page of my spellbook
So-
that has a neatly tucked in scroll.
Hint,
actually,
hint. I bought
Oh.
2 healing potions today.
yeah.
No, I have healing magic. It's fine.
I finished reading the rules.
Okay.
I read to the end of the text block finally. It says it is up to the GM to determine a period of time between 10 minutes and potentially several hours, depending on what sent the person unconscious. So I'm gonna say, since you did just a couple points of damage to yourself as a slight medical accident, it's probably more on the 10 minutes side.
We don't know that though.
Well, I think you can tell that she's not like bleeding out or anything, right?
Okay.
I think that's fair. Maybe you could make a medicine check or something if you want to see like what your assessment of the situation is. But
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna manage to flip to the page of my spellbook that has the cleverly tucked in spell scroll of heal. Then I'm gonna look back at Eshe on the ground and then look at Ogden and say, I don't know what happened, but she suddenly started looking a lot better, and I don't know why. And then I want to figure out if she's actively dying.
yeah, give me a medicine check.
Okay.
And this will be secret, I guess, technically, just to keep it consistent. Yeah, so you look her over real quick. You take her pulse, check as you can see that there's still there's color returning to her face and everything. You imagine she'll be up pretty quick. It doesn't look like anything serious has really happened to her. Looks more like she just had she fainted or something. Maybe you should have some food and water ready just in case or something.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm gonna take off my cloak again and drape it over Eshe for a little bit of warmth. Nocti will hop back across the gap and curl up next to them. I don't have any
Alright.
food or water though.
Do
I
I get my hit point now?
Yes, so after a few minutes, you regain 1 hit point, and you can wake up in whatever manner you wish to wake up.
I'm just gonna open my eyes and bolt straight up.
Excellent.
Nocti gets startled a little bit and jumps.
Look at what I did to myself. And say I should probably just go back and try again tonight.
Are you feeling all right?
Mm.
You came
I'm
back and you were just kind of on
I'm
the
a
ground.
little woozy, but I mean, I did jump on purpose. So there's that.
I'm holding the ladder, and I'm like, do we still want to try to go across?
I mean, it would be a pain to store a ladder that big, so we might as well, right?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Is
It's
there
a
any chance
3
you could?
bulk item.
Yeah. Is there any chance you could try and patch me up a little bit beforehand, Eshe?
You sure you want me to?
I imagine
I
this is like
really think you should take the risky surgery feat, Eshe.
it's a good feat. I like to picture Ogden right now as having the ladder. It's not like a collapsing ladder. It's just a 10-foot ladder. So he's got it like across his back diagonally. He has to turn sideways through doors, that kind of thing.
Oh, I was thinking at this point, like, while I was talking to Ayla, I probably would have put it so that one end was down and I just have like one arm through it and it's just going up 10 feet.
Yeah, that makes sense. This might be tricky to get it across the gap safely, actually. But maybe you can work something out there.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Unfortunate.
Really not your day today, is it?
The one good roll in that string of rolls was just to stabilize yourself after you knocked yourself unconscious.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Well, I'll
Oh,
give it
and
another shot later.
Yep.
alright, what will I roll to try to put the ladder across?
Well, first tell me how you're attempting it. Like, how are you physically? What's your plan?
I'm probably gonna be holding the ladder and um trying to do like a controlled drop to make sure it will hold the ladder's weight. If that makes sense.
Okay.
What if
So I think the tricky thing here is, right, based on the length of the ladder being almost the length of the gap, right? You're not going to have any amount of the ladder to get leverage from, right? You'd be holding on to like the very like stump feet of the ladder and trying to like get leverage from there, which is going to be extremely difficult. Unless you want to like let the ladder drop from a full tilt and hope it doesn't bounce.
what if
Unless you have a different understanding, right? But maybe you're thinking of it differently and I'm not understanding, but
If you lay it flat and just push it forward,
what if
would
what if
that
you
work?
stand it up and then let it drop and then Nocti can try and catch it on the other side?
God, oh fuck. Maybe. I will say
I
from
mean,
the
I could
sliding perspective, once it gets, more than halfway out there, it's going to start dropping into the pit. And in that last 1 foot, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to have any leverage over keeping the ladder from dropping the pit, because you're going to have you're going to have, 90% of the weight of the ladder on the opposite end of a very, very non-favorable fulcrum for you. It's going to be tricky, but the Nocti idea could work. You might have some other ideas here.
I was thinking if we tie the rope halfway down the ladder, because even if it falls, we can still pull it back up.
Okay, yeah, you could tie the rope to it.
And then kind of just do that yeeting technique of trying to find a place where it sits.
Okay. So let's see. I don't know if athletics would be the most likely thing for like yeeting the ladder like this.
Wait,
Yes.
I know what could help. We tie a rope to the other end of the ladder too, and then Nocti yank.
Oh, if you tie a rope to the top of the ladder, someone like holds the bottom like right at the edge. You could let the rope out to have a controlled fall.
Oh, like a drawbridge.
Oh,
Yeah,
That could
that's a
work.
good idea.
That
it'd
would
be
be
a two-person job. One to hold the rope and one to make sure the bottom ends, like the R side end, stays where it should.
That would be a much, much easier task. Yes, I think that makes sense.
I like that idea.
I like it too.
All right, so who's doing what? I'll say whoever's holding the ladder will be assisting the person on the rope, or whoever's doing whatever here.
I'm gonna hold the ladder unless somebody else wants to.
I'm gonna help hold the ladder.
Is it an athletics check to do the rope?
Yeah, I think this would be an athletics check for the rope. Probably athletics as well for holding the ladder. I think both of you can attempt to aid, but they won't stack if you're both successful, as I believe how that works.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
But unless you crit fail, you won't hurt the situation. So.
Uh-oh.
Oops.
Let's see.
Can we say that I get up to try and help and like stumble and fall on my face instead?
It's okay. No, because you didn't crit fail anyways. But maybe that makes sense.
Okay.
You walk over and you're like ready to hold the ladder and you just kind of trip, and yeah, you're clearly lacking some strength in your weakened state right now. But Ayala did pass on the check, so that's a +1 for Ogden.
All right, I'm also going to spend my hero point.
Might as well eat that shit.
All right, how do I? Oh, keep higher.
Nice. Yeah, it's a big success. And I'm assuming that actually becomes a 20, which is not a critical success. But yeah, with the +1, that's a 20. Normal success. You slowly lower the ladder across, and it settles on the other side against part of the roofing that's over there. You reach out and you kind of push down on the ladder a little bit and kind of shake it a little bit to see if it gets dislodged or see if it slides around or anything. And it seems fairly sturdy. It's not an excellent bridge. You're going to have to kind of precariously walk across it, but it's going to be a lot safer than trying to jump. I think, I believe there are balancing mechanics. And I think that might be essentially the mechanic we'd apply here. But yes, still much safer.
I was reading there was a feat that I was interested in taking. Next level.
Yeah. So I would say this is a lower DC acrobatics check, essentially, to get across, because balancing is also an acrobatics check. But yeah, you've successfully made it a lot easier on yourselves. And also, you only fall on a balance check on a critical fail. A regular failure, you just slow down a lot or lose your action or whatever.
Balance is an acrobatics check.
That's right. So it'll be the same as jumping across, but it'll be a lot easier, and you would need to roll even low. You'd basically need a nat 1 to actually fall, but it's still possible.
Okay, acrobatics.
Should I just stay here?
Is that a crit fail?
After all that, oh no. Oh, that's too perfect. I think we end the episode with Ogden saying well, we got to try it, taking a step on the ladder, and just it moves a tiny bit under his weight and just flips over, the ladder rotates 180 degrees, clockwise, and just dumps Ogden off the ladder, and he goes plummeting down into the pit. And as he falls, we see him slowly falling in slow motion. We end the episode there. That's so fucking funny. Holy shit.
I cannot believe that.
The chaos energy tonight is amazing.
It's so good.
So far off.
Die to the pit.
I can't believe the party is going to take 30 points of damage from a fucking useless obstacle for no reason, after spending 45 minutes setting up a plan to get across safely.
The cat really is the superior party member.
It really is, yeah. The donkey is just the best. Aki's the new leader, I think.
What who hasn't fucked it up?
Oh, that's so good.